Hey everybody, what's going on? I come bearing good PlayStation news. You're going to want to hear this. Definitely some fun stuff. I really can't wait to talk about. Obviously, this is the biggest news of the day. I'm certainly sure that everybody's going to be talking about this if they aren't already. Obviously, Sony has purchased some studios, and I kind of want to get into this as quickly as possible. Listen, this was bound to happen, and this is the two that I actually called quite some time ago, so there's that as well. So people that didn't think that I was right or thought that that those wouldn't be the cases. Of course, these two made the most sense, and obviously will continue to make the most sense going forward because they had already done so many great PlayStation games. So I also like the way that Sony did this, right? Because Sony did just come out and say, hey, we're not going to throw money at third-party developers, and to their credit, they didn't do that. Like, what Sony did was built these companies up themselves, they were already doing PlayStation exclusives, so it wasn't like they're taking something away. Listen, I have nothing but good things to say about Microsoft and their buyout of Bethesda. That's business. That's what you do. When you're competing, you go out and do that stuff. The only thing that I can say is, when it comes to the apology that Sony or that Bethesda had made to the gamers, is I can understand that. When you go from a developer that's used to selling, some of your games go 20, 30 million deep, and you're taking away the biggest platform, you're not going to reach nearly as many gamers as you once did, and you're used to selling to everybody. So yeah, I can understand how people kind of maybe have a little bit of an issue with that, but I personally don't. I think it's 100% business. That's what happens. Sony could have bought them too if they chose to. So that's how I kind of look at things. And for me, that's how I look at all this stuff. So when it comes to them buying studios that were only already doing PlayStation exclusives, Microsoft isn't losing out on anything. So basically, we know that Returnal Housemarque Studios has officially joined the family. Herman Hulst, head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, has announced that Returnal developer Housemarque has joined the PlayStation Studios family. The move is perhaps unsurprising given that Housemarque has been making a range of popular games for PlayStation consoles for some time now, and Sony itself labeled Returnal a success not too long ago. According to Housemarque, this is what he said. Today is a big day for Housemarque, and it has been over 26 years in the making. Our strong partnership with Sony Interactive Entertainment started with Super Stardust HD on PS3, and since then we have made arcade-inspired games for all of the PlayStation platforms. With Returnal for PS5, our most recent release, our biggest foray into third-person action gaming solidified our voice and brand in the industry as delivering unique and quality player experience. We are so excited to finally join the PlayStation Studios family. This gives our studio a clear future and a stable opportunity to continue delivering on gameplay-centric approaches while still experimenting with new methods of narrative delivery and pushing the boundaries of this modern art form. So obviously Returnal was released for the PS5 back in April 2021. Really good game. I didn't finish it. I did review it, even though I was up front and told people I didn't finish it. I mentioned how far I was able to get in it and things like that. It's not a game for me personally, but I get why so many people like this series. So, I do think that it's a fantastic move. And again, this really kind of puts to bed that whole nonsense that Sony is not doing smaller games or taking risks or taking chances and things like that. They're really going out of their way to go ahead and make sure that they do all of those things. So that is awesome. Now, the other thing is Sony accidentally tweeted out Bluepoint Games acquisition as well. Okay, so Bluepoint did the Demon Souls remake. They've done multiple remakes. They did Shadow of the Colossus remake. It's rumored that they're working on a Metal Gear Solid remake. But they actually sent this tweet out first with a welcome to the family thing with Bluepoint and Demon Souls and the thing, just like they did Housemarque. Now, some people might go, oh, well, that could be a mistake. how do you make a banner like that by mistake? That's the thing that I would kind of say. Sony just confirmed, obviously, that it has snapped up Returnal developer Housemarque, but it looks like the company has also acquired Bluepoint Games, something that has been rumored for some time now. That's at least according to a now-deleted tweet by the format holder, which was supposed to market the Housemarque acquisition, but instead depicted an image that clearly welcomes Bluepoint to the PlayStation Studios family. Whoops! As mentioned, the tweet was hastily deleted, but it clearly shows an image that Sony's team knocked up to announce PlayStation or Bluepoint's acquisition, and mirrors the same layout as Housemarque's, albeit with the name and the company changed, obviously, and clearly that's something that a lot of people are going to be talking about. Now, when it comes to Bluepoint, they have a couple of teams, so clearly they can do like classic games and totally remake them. And I think that that's important, right? Like, I know what people are going to say, but you don't like old games. Listen, it depends on the game, but it also depends on what form the game is, all right? Like, I love Metal Gear Solid, right? But it's a PlayStation 1 game. Obviously, that game is not going to look very good by today's standards. So, obviously, I kind of have this situation where I would love to see that game remade completely, but with today's modern graphics. That's game preservation at its finest. So I would love that, and Sony has so many games that they could do like that. And also, I think Bluepoint would be, a quality developer to kind of make their own game as well, which makes a lot of sense kind of going forward, that you would actually want to go out there and kind of have them make their own developer. So, honestly, it's just one of the things that I think was a fantastic move by Sony, picking up Bluepoint, picking up Housemarque as well. It was obviously kind of a foregone conclusion that both of those things were going to happen, and it just makes so much sense. These companies were doing PlayStation exclusives to begin with, and I just felt like it's a good mix. It's a good mix for both these companies, and obviously being able to kind of snag a developer on the level of Bluepoint as well as Housemarque, who Housemarque has never done like a flop in their existence. They've done a really good job with everything. So now are these on the level of a Bethesda buyout? No, of course not. But Sony didn't have to do anything on the level of Bethesda. Just having, I think Housemarque gets their games out every couple few years. Bluepoint's working on a couple games at a time. I think that's a good and a very smart move. And you got to figure, since Microsoft made all those acquisitions, now Sony has picked up Insomniac Games, Bluepoint Games, and Housemarque, which are three very quality studios in and of their own right. So, I mean, we have to kind of look for that as well. In fact, when Housemarque recently was talking about their next game, they also talked about, their next game is going to go beyond Returnal with tight gameplay, because that's still the focus. So, the developer behind Returnal has revealed that its next game is set to go beyond the PlayStation 5 exclusive project, with tight gameplay still much a major factor in the experience. Speaking during an interview with Famitsu, Housemarque's co-founder actually commented, "I'm sure we'll go beyond that, and I want to create a great gaming experience and an unforgettable experience. I think that's all I can say now, but there may be a lot of explosions, right? We can also promise tight gameplay with a good operational feeling. That's what we've been doing for 26 years. With Housemarque now under PlayStation Studios' umbrella, any future titles from the company will be released exclusively for PlayStation," which they pretty much always were anyway, but that's just good to know as a whole. So whatever's next remains to be seen, but I'm sure a lot of people are eagerly awaiting to see what's coming, because like I said, this is a very exciting time, and just very nice to see what competition can do for all parties involved, right? Like, I know a lot of people didn't believe me when I said this, but yes, competition is key, competition is amazing, and I love seeing so many people sort of excited by these announcements and things like that, because this is what competition does. If Microsoft didn't go on their spending spree, we probably wouldn't see Sony have bought the three studios that they have, Insomniac, Housemarque, and Bluepoint as well. So this is what it does, folks. This is what it does. And again, If Sony hadn't offered free games with PlayStation Plus, Microsoft wouldn't have done so with Gold. You know, this is how these things work, and I, for one, absolutely love it. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys slap that like button. Slap it! I'm telling you guys, it's a great time. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.